Hi, and welcome to the VIP Music Room podcast. Welcome to episode 2 of the VIP Music Room. So today we're talking about 6 quick hacks that you can do to make going back to school in January a little bit easier on yourself. I know, and you know, that by the time we get through December, everything is just a little crazy, and you're really just wanting to do nothing but sleep through your 2 weeks off. I know I did this year. So I'm hoping that I can get a little bit of control and make my life easier by taking care of a few different things. So the first one that I really want to talk about, and this is something I really truly heavily believe in, is getting rid of the toxic. And the toxic can be anything. It could be one coworker that is just negative all the time. It could be constant complaints from people about how you do things. It could be a Facebook group that gives you lots of anxiety because you're looking at all of the amazing things that other people are doing and wishing you had more time to do X, Y, or Z. Not saying that you can exactly get rid of the negative coworker or avoid critics, but by getting rid of how it affects you, you can get a little bit more freedom. So instead of sitting in the teacher's lounge where everybody is complaining, maybe have lunch with one teacher friend that you know you get along with and you're not going to complain with. Or try not to engage in the negative talk with that person and encourage that person to continue being negative. Something else you can do is just try to make yourself a little happier by looking at the good things that you see. And I wish I had saved this article, but the other day I saw this article on Facebook talking about how if you say 10 things you're grateful for a week, you can break the habit of negativity and looking at the negative. So by getting rid of the toxic, I'm not talking about massive things, maybe leaving the Facebook group or just looking at things with a little bit of rose-colored glasses to help yourself out. The second hack I have for you today is having an emergency bag at school. Now, I don't really have a bag, I have a desk drawer. My bottom desk drawer locks, and it's amazing because I have everything I need in there for any sort of little inconvenience that comes up during the day. I've got a brush, static guard, dry shampoo, deodorant, cough drops, Tylenol, Benadryl, everything I can think of for all of those kind of little emergencies. I even have a toothbrush and toothpaste in there because you never know if you're just feeling sort of yucky and you have a pop-up conference or you decide you need to go run an errand after school. It's great to have those things sort of available for you so you don't feel like you need to stop at home. I even keep a few sort of emergency chocolate extra Keurig cup for those times that I just need a little pick me up during the day. And I go to this little emergency stash all of the time. I use it probably 3 times a week, which really isn't emergency, but it helps me get through the day feeling more put together. The third hack that I have for you is to stop taking everything home. Now, I am not saying that I don't take things home, and I am definitely not perfect at it. I take things home all the time, but I've gotten a lot better at not bringing things home. So when I first started making things for Teachers Pay Teachers, I was traveling to 4 different classrooms, and the main reason I started making things is because I got sick of writing everything on whiteboards in all of these different locations because it was too much of a pain to bring manipulatives between 4 schools for multiple grades because I was teaching everywhere from preschool to 8th grade in different places. So that is a lot of material to have to carry with me. So having a digital file of the things that I wanted was really, really helpful. Now, part of the reason that I don't take stuff home is because I do work on my store things at home. And they are things that I do use in school. So I don't want to be doing other school things on top of creating materials that are also school things. So I told myself about 2 years ago that I was not going to bring home things and really stick with it really well for a couple of months. And I did. And since then, obviously, I've brought some stuff home because who doesn't? But the way I manage to not bring things home is stay late a couple days a week. I stay and I get the few things I need done, I get some grading done, and then I can go home and guilt free do the things that I should be doing at home, like spending some time with my family and relaxing a little bit and anything else that I want to be doing. I also go in about an hour and a half to 2 hours early every day. Um, I don't start teaching until 9:15 because of how I am scheduled, which is great. But I get to school between 7 and 7:15 every day, and it's great because I have time to drink some coffee and make copies and prep the room, pull out materials, everything else I need to do so that it's ready to go when my kids are there, and then I don't have to think about those things from home. I really recommend trying it out. Which leads me to hack number 4. You don't need to be carrying that heavy book bag back and forth because you are going to set a workout schedule. Now, I'm not talking about 5 days a week at the gym and a running session with your BFF on Saturday morning and yoga and meditation every night. I'm definitely not talking about that. I'm talking about making time for you to move around a little bit that isn't dancing with your kids or standing in front of a classroom because we all do that. Everybody knows that music teachers are on their feet an awful lot and we're tired. And really, who's going to set a goal like that that's not realistic? What I am talking about is scheduling yourself a couple laps around your building at the end of the day a couple times a week, or asking your teacher BFF to work out with you after school for 20 minutes a couple times a week so you can just chat and be moving while you do it. So not only will you get something done, or at least have a little bit of downtime with your friend, you will be moving a little bit too. And that's all I'm talking about. So I'm super guilty of putting my workout on the back burner and letting it fall behind everything else that I have going on. So I'm going to commit to mine and tell you that my goal is to try to hit the gym 3 days a week with my husband. And if I don't, I will come home and do something else or make a couple laps around the building because I should be moving more than I do. Hack number 5, just get rid of the pile. And you know which pile I mean. I'm talking about the bottomless one on your desk that things just get put on for you to do and it just keeps growing and growing. And by the time you hit Christmas break, I am positive that that thing was at least 2 inches tall. Now, I know you're not going to be able to get rid of all of those papers, and neither am I, but you can organize them in a way that makes it easier to find them. So I got one of those little hanging file things at Target, and I put some folders in there. And I have different folders for different things. I've got some for the musical. I've got one for the cantata. I've got one for field trips, one for festival, and all of those kind of random papers that we get that we need to hang on to. I have one for those too. Now, all of the things that apply to those, I put them in there. So when I want to work on something for, say, festival, I can just pull it out and find what I need and get to it. Now, the only thing I allow myself to keep on my desk is one file of things that are urgent so that I can work on them this week. Like if there's something that has to be turned in by a certain date and it's that week, I put it in that pile so that I know I can get to it before I leave for the week. And all of those catalogs that you're getting from places about uniforms and from J.W. Pepper and from West Music, they're great, but put them somewhere you're going to either look at them or just get rid of them and put them in the recycling bin. I'm pretty guilty of putting them right into the recycling bin because I know if I want to go look for something, I'm going to look on the website. Or if when they come in, I know there's something specific that I'm looking for, I go to that page right away and look it up and then be done with the catalog. Because just leaving those things all over your desk and all the flyers for different professional development meetings and conferences coming up that you might like to go to, if you're just letting them pile up, they're not doing you any good. Just get rid of them. And the last January hack I have for you is to use a tool that you have, but you haven't used yet. So, have you bought a book or an app? Is there something you got on TPT? Or how about something that you have but don't use very often, like a classroom instrument? It's a new year and it's a new you, so find something that you have and you don't use, and it'll give you something new ish for you to use in your classroom. I'm actually going to bust out my copy, brand new to me, of 120 singing games and dances. I know, I can't believe I haven't used it yet, but I picked up a copy online right before we got ready to reveal the new addition to my school. So it definitely went on the back burner and I never had a chance to look through it. I know, fail. So I will be using that this January and I can't wait to bust into it because it's going to be like a whole new curriculum that I'm using, even though I already have it. So find the thing that you have that will give you a little bit of new life and use it. So those have been my 6 hacks for January, and I hope that you have a wonderful month. If you're going to MMC in Michigan at the end of January, I would love for you to stop by and say hi. I'll be presenting 2 different sessions, and I would love to see you. A reminder that you can download the show notes at www.mrsstoffersmusicroom.com/2. And I hope you have a great year.
Thanks for listening to the VIP Music Room podcast.